Okay, welcome to Whiskey and Sunshine Off Grid.
Hi, I'm Shelly.
And I'm Scott. Some of you who have seen our videos before may recognize some of the stuff we've got laid out here on the counter is the stuff that came from this bucket the other day. This bucket had been packed in 2013 and unopened.
Good bucket.
Yes, good. Good actually stood for Get Out of Dodge. That was where that came from. I'm basically going through all this stuff to make sure that everything is still good and there's no holes in the packaging, and I am going to repackage it with very few modifications, and it's going right back in my vehicle. Now, you may want to do things different. This bucket is by no means supposed to be like a bug out bag. This is just basically storage for food. If it was going to be a bug out bucket, which you could do, I'd also have some other stuff in there, like some clothing, maybe some socks, a spare bandana, maybe some provisions for cooking, like a camp stove or something like that. All that stuff is in my regular bag that I have with me all the time anyway. So this stuff basically is just meant to be pretty much 2 weeks of supplies. So if you get stuck someplace, you could feed one person for a couple of weeks, two people for a week, and so on. Very simple. Some of it, as you can see, is just raw, basic staples. And then we have some, like Mountain House prepared freeze-dried meals too. You could actually put up a bunch of buckets like this and store them right in your pantry. That way it'll keep you from getting into them, just as a novelty. You kind of forget they're there after a while, and you won't need them until the time comes. But I'm glad I took this one apart after however many years it was, because there were some issues with some of the packaging. The candy bar that was in here had gone bad. What else?
Sad.
What?
Sad.
Oh, yeah. You were attached to that big candy bar.
Had to throw that great big candy bar away.
I'm not going to bother to put any candy back in here.
Nah, I wouldn't bother.
I was trying to think what else. Did we lose anything else?
Although it is a mood booster. If you're, something's happening.
Well, also, if you have kids too, you
right.
Really, and I would not bother storing anything that you wouldn't eat. So when you're buying this stuff, don't just buy 10 pounds of alfalfa or something. Have something that you're going to eat anyway, the kind of food you'd eat anyway.
Right.
That way you're not forcing yourself to choke it down. Yep. I mean, I've got a can of sardines here. I don't eat sardines. These are for bait. I hate to say it, but they're for bait. Anyway, bouillon cubes.
That's the same with stuff that you would buy for your home. A lot of people, say buy pounds and pounds of barley. It's like, if you bought pounds and pounds of barley,
what are you going to do with all that barley?
Why would you buy that?
I
guess for bartering with people, if you needed to do that.
Oh boy, the power's out. Barley.
I just don't even. I mean, yes, it goes in soups and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway,
practical choices. Practical choices. The other thing I may put in here too that I just thought of is some coffee. Those tea bag coffees. The coffee, basically, they come in a tea bag. I've always got a coffee cup. I can warm up water with my stove, and if I've got hot water, I can make a cup of coffee, and I'll be
yeah, it works good too.
Pretty happy. Yeah, and it's actually better than the old freeze-dried coffee. It's like real coffee. Yep. Folgers and who's the other one? Maxwell House. Both have packages. You can buy boxes, and they have like tea bags in them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes one tea bag isn't enough. Sometimes you may want two if you're making a big cup of coffee. But yeah. So that's going in here too. But
the other thing, I just took the lid off this. If you watched our other one, we were talking about how I thought the lid was kind of cool because you could put it back on if you didn't want to eat the whole thing if you were by yourself. Or use it all at once. This doesn't have one of those pop tops like your sardines do. So if you don't have a bug out bag and you just carry this, if you're gonna have a can in there, maybe a can opener or even two. Just
those little P38 or P51 can openers. I have one on my key ring. We have dozens of them kicking around here.
Yep.
there's no reason not to have one. I mean, you could tape it
Or a
right to the
knife.
inside of the bucket. Yeah, knife. Most people don't realize that if you want to open a can like this, these tops, where they're rolled, they're actually, the can comes up, the top goes down in, and it's like bead rolled around. If you can find a flat rock or a cement wall, you can put this on there, and by abrasive, it'll wear through that sharp corner on the top of the can. When you tip it back up, you can take your knife and you can pop that lid right back off and eat what you're going to eat, and then that lid will fit right back in there again, because you haven't really distorted it. All you've done is sand the very end of this, lip off.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not going to get, you know, dirt or rocks or grindings in your food because it's all on the outside. So you just wipe it off and then just pop the lid off. You can pop it right back on again. But a lot of people don't know. They think if you don't have a can opener, you're screwed. That's not necessarily true. A cement block or a flat rock, you can open cans all day long. It's just like a sharpening stone.
But I can't open it would be better.
Can't open it would be better.
It'd be faster too.
Just a useless bit of information I thought I'd put out
It'd be
there.
faster. I'm hungry. You know.
Really?
Sorry. No, I'm just saying. You know.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to get at it. I'm going to put the heaviest stuff in there first. This is, because this is me, not you. You may choose something totally different. It's ammunition. Not going to lie to you. That's a bandolier of 5.56 ammunition. All packed in there and vacuum sealed. Put that in the bottom so it doesn't crush anything. Then I'm going to put these MREs in because they're big and bulky.
Yeah, those are heavy too.
And then just start stuffing, I
It's
guess.
like you're packing for a trip.
Yeah, just fill up the open holes, you know.
Yep. Now these I repackaged. He had one that was sealed, vacuum sealed, with little packages. They were Ziploc bags of rice and I don't know what the other stuff was. It was
Cracked red wheat,
yeah. I was gonna say you know what it was, but
couscous.
yeah, couscous was one. But the rice had popped open, like the seal had popped open. So I repackaged these with my food saver. So I just popped in a new brown rice packet, and it's already in a bag that you can just drop it in water and seal it. I mean, and cook it in boiling water. So I just left it in the bag and just sealed it in the food saver bag.
So it's a bag within a bag.
Right, and then
One bag you use during the
Yeah.
cooking.
so and we, like we said, we threw away the big candy bar that was in there.
When our kids were little, 10 years ago, that candy bar probably had a different meaning, you know. 4 AA batteries, and you can never have too many big lighters, so I'm going to drop one of those in there. I checked it to make sure it's still good.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got some of these. These are the coffee singles we're talking about, that are the tea bag coffees. So we've thrown a couple of those in there. I'm going to throw a few more in. You know, you might want to throw creamer in there or something like that.
Or you could put tea in there.
Yeah, you could put, you know,
If you're not a
anything.
coffee drinker.
Anything. There are no rules to this. Whatever
It's
whatever
what
makes you happy.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't a true O2 absorber. What these actually are, these are hand warmers. And they work really good if you don't have O2 absorbers kicking around. You just open them, and as you know, once you wiggle them around a little bit, they'll start getting warm. That's the oxidation because of the actual material hitting the air, and it's going to start to oxidize. I'm just going to put them in there like that. I'm going to put this on here. I don't recommend doing this. Usually you should use a hammer, but no brain, no pain. Okay, and we will take off the 10-year-old date. There we go. Now all that's left to do is relabel that with today's date, and it can be put back into service, or it could be stacked in your pantry or whatever you want. Now, if you were doing these based on some length of time that you expected to be using them, like you could have enough in there for 1 week per person, you know, whatever you wanted, you could put anything in there. You could put canned food in there. You could put, well, anything, really. I mean, I put ammunition in mine. It's just, like I said, this is designed like, God forbid, if I'm out hunting somewhere in the woods and something happens to my truck and I don't have cell phone reception and I get stuck there, I can live out of this bucket as long as I've got water. Now, that being said, water is something you also might want to consider storing. This is Maine, and there is running, fresh, clean water everywhere. So water is never a concern for me. I mean, I filter it, but other than that, there are streams and rivers everywhere. That's one thing about Maine. You may be in a different situation, so you may want to throw some water bottles and stuff in your bucket. I don't know. I don't know. That's something you might want to think about. But can you think of anything else?
I can't right now. All I can say is just cater this to you. Buy,
Yes,
if
absolutely.
you buy those freeze-dried meals, buy what you like to eat or what.
And what this is designed for, like I said, is to keep for an emergency in a vehicle. We have family that lives more than 2-hour drive away that we visit fairly regularly. I try to make sure whatever vehicle we take has
Something.
one of these in it, along with
A bag.
whatever we carry for a bag.
Yep.
And we don't always carry his and hers bags. There won't be 2 of them in there, but if her bag is in there, I know pretty much that it's got all the stuff in it that we're going to need.
Yep.
Same thing with my bag. So if each vehicle has one of these buckets and has a bag in it, we know that we're pretty well good to go. So once again, thanks for joining us.
For Whiskey and Sunshine Off Grid. See you later.
Bye.